Welcome to ILead segment, where we are bringing young people who are doing amazing things in various fields of leadership. Today we have one amazing leader, Joel Kwemei. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Brayster. You're looking nice.
Thank you so much. So my first question to you is, what was the vision behind Youth Governors Kenya? And we'll do first please introduce yourself.
My name is Joel Kwemei. I'm a young leader. I am a change agent, and I'm a believer in a transformational leadership concept, whereby as a leader, you really don't have an expectation when you lead, but you lead because you believe you've been called to lead. Yes.
And what was the vision behind Youth Governors Kenya?
Youth Governors Kenya is an interesting journey of challenges, breakthroughs and successes. But when I just go back a little bit, I think 2 years ago, I used to be like any other young person. I used to complain about our government. I used to complain about our leaders in various circles. But it reached a point where I realized I can't complain anymore. I needed to do something to fix it. So I organized myself, and the vision came. And I talked to a few young guys who believed in the vision that I had. And within that time, I remember we had a series of meetings and trying to discuss, really, we have this vision, but how far can we take this vision? And within that time, it was challenging because we had to raise money to register the organization. And consider we are young people, so we had to sacrifice some of our monies. Thinking at that time I was in campus. Actually, I was in third year. Yeah, and we formed this organization, and one step at a time, people started believing in our vision. Because initially, remember after the promulgation of the Constitution in the year 2010, there was a lot of expectation, especially with the emergence of county governments. And many young people didn't capture really what are the opportunities in the county governments and even as a country at large. And the first season of county governance was marred with a lot of challenges, with a lot of corruption, with a lot of black areas whereby young people didn't understand where can they tap into the opportunities of the county government. And that's now why Youth Governors Kenya came in to align these young people to the county governments, to ensure that they also partake what the county government has for them, but more so also to become devolution ambassadors, so that they can share this information to the fellow youth who didn't understand the opportunities that are in the counties.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I were to ask him, I was recently having a conversation with a particular nominated politician, and he had the guts to tell me that in the next 5 years, I'll be very young to vie because in the Kenyan system and in Africa, they don't have a position for young people. What is your take on that? And if you look at the young people in the country or all over Africa, there are very few young people who are in leadership positions. We can look at Uganda. We can see Bobi Wine, and he's being so frustrated. In the Kenyan scenario, there's Sakaja, there's several like Jaguar and others. So, but if you look at them, do you feel the impact of the young people, or you just feel they went there and then they became like the rest?
I think that kind of advice was very wrong. In terms of, you can't look down on young people, because leadership is not defined by age. It's defined by the ideas that we have. So I think that was wrong, and as a society, we really need to fix that. We need to understand that leadership is a calling. And when you even go back, let me use examples in the Bible. King David was called at a very young age. Joseph was called at a very tender age. And the success stories are evident. So for me, I believe we need to give space for the young people to compete with those who are there and do that which they've been called to do. Look at Sakaja. Sakaja got into parliament as a nominated MP at the age of 27, or rather I think 28. But he's proved that as a young person, there's something that you can put on the table. 30% procurement law was a brainchild of Sakaja. Right now, every young person in this country is a beneficiary of his idea that he legislated and pushed in the National Assembly. I also want to commend leaders like Mtula Jr. for what he's doing in the society. So this idea of, young people, Kenokot in Kibra, these are young people that really need Malema in South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a young person, and he's really revolutionizing how leadership is perceived in this continent. So we don't have the audacity to look down on any young person. Let us give them space. Let us give them room to even make mistakes, and they learn from the mistakes.
Amazing. So as we wrap up, I would like you to advise any young person who might be looking up to you or who might want to indulge in leadership. Yes.
Can you allow me to speak in the youthful language?
Yes.
Okay.
On the show. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nidhambia vijana uko nje. It's time that you're supposed to stand up and take the mantle of leadership in this country. Imefika ile time tuache hii conversation ya, hatuwezi, we are young, hatuna do, we don't have connections. Just take heart and, do something for the community. People actually will look at what you're doing and they'll come and support you. Just do something. History ya kurelax na kungoja sijui nani afikiria about you. By the way, hakuna. Hii country hakuna. Yeah.
And before I'll have only one more question. I'm sorry. Do you think leaders are born or made? And are you passionate about family? Because I feel that leadership should, if we want to change this country, we have to start with the family itself. So what is your point and what is your stand on family as a base in how it shapes the life of leaders? And do you think leaders are born or made? And are you born or are you made?
Okay. Leaders are born and made.
Yeah. So what are you yourself?
I was born and made a leader.
It's okay.
Because, it's about options. And it's about if you believe you have something in you. Yeah. The difference between a leader who is born and a leader who is made is that a leader who is made will always keep on working on himself to become even a better leader. But the leaders who are born, naturally they tend to just fix situations, to just, provide solutions. Yeah. And on the issues of family, family is the basic unit which depicts or even nurtures leadership. And I think best leaders should be observed at the family level. So, in fact, in this country, we need to change ways that we choose our leaders. The first stage should be analyzing their family. How are they? What's the family relationship? How is he leading the family? How is she leading the family? From there we can easily understand which kind of a person you're dealing with. Because you cannot come to the public limelight and pretend to be this perfect person, yet you are a woman batterer. Your kids are not in school. You don't care, you don't provide. How can you provide for a multitude of people or lead a multitude of people when at home you can't do anything for the family? Yeah.
Oh, wow. We have come to the end of the segment, ILead. This segment marks the end of Youth Connect TV show. Thank you for watching, and to all our subscribers, thank you. See you next week, same time, same place. I have been your host, Bright Star Kasioka.